What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Jeremy Wormy. I'm coming at you with another video. And when it comes to Ubisoft, they have been consistently on the brink of bankruptcy, considering the failure of leadership by the Guillemot family and the consistent stream of disaster after disaster constantly put out by Ubisoft. All these games have been monumental flops for them. All these games have ultimately led the company to where it is now, and has even seen shareholders come out here and try to take the company private. You've ended up seeing Ubisoft have massive conversations with Tencent over purported deals, and recently they announced that there was going to be going through with a mega €4 billion deal with Tencent to essentially build a whole new subsidiary and ultimately see Tencent winning and owning 25% stake in all IPs put out by Ubisoft, which basically just led to all the shares tanking over at Ubisoft and people losing billions of dollars. But now we are starting to see that shareholders aren't taking this lying down and are ultimately revolting over this deal. Investors demand Ubisoft to renegotiate Tencent's subsidiary deal and initiate legal proceedings. Now, this whole move could actually see this deal ultimately fall through and ultimately lead to the death and destruction of Ubisoft if this actually happens. But why don't we actually take a look at what is going on here? A minority shareholder and a growing coalition of shareholders have issued an open letter to Ubisoft to initiate legal proceedings around the recently announced Ubisoft and Tencent subsidiary deal. In an open letter to Ubisoft, which was sent to Insider Gaming, the letter demands that Ubisoft hold an extraordinary general meeting to give shareholders the right to vote on the recent subsidiary deal. The letter, which was sent by minority shareholder AJ Investments, demands that shareholders can vote on two separate resolutions when it comes to the Tencent deal. Now, these two separate resolutions are massive and potentially detrimental to Ubisoft and can ultimately see Ubisoft shutter its doors if shareholders want to go this route, and honestly, I wouldn't blame them if they actually do. Resolution 1 is to renegotiate the Tencent deal and have it restructured into a direct asset sale for no less than €4 billion. This isn't them saying, hey, Tencent, buzz off, Ubisoft go private, and let's try to figure this out to save Ubisoft. No, Resolution 1 is them saying, Ubisoft, admit failure, admit that you can't do this, admit that the leadership of the Guillemot family has put us in the situation we are now, sell off the IPs, sell everything off to Tencent, because guess what? We're just going to be back here in the matter of 3 to 5 years hashing out the same old arguments. I honestly think that this is a smart idea, and in reality, this is a shareholder realizing that nothing's really going to change here. Because to remind you guys, this was what the Tencent deal was. Ubisoft and Tencent are officially teaming up to create a new subsidiary within the company. Tencent will invest €1.16 billion to acquire 25% stake in the new entity, contains Ubisoft's biggest gaming IPs like Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, and Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six, includes any future titles, back catalog, and the development teams. Essentially, this subsidiary, which has a 25% ownership right by Tencent, sees all the actual important things that Ubisoft owns go to the subsidiary and Tencent. Ubisoft will be out of the game entirely, but when we come over here to Hypnotic, we end up seeing just how deeper this rabbit hole goes and just how awful this deal actually is for Ubisoft in the long run, because Ubisoft will maintain full control of the new subsidiary, making a new board of directors with 25% influence from Tencent. Tencent will be paid royalties for every transaction Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, and Rainbow Six under the new subsidiary. Essentially, the same leadership that has led Ubisoft to the point they are right now will still be in charge of this subsidiary deal. Tencent will just be taking money, will have a 25% stake in the deal, and will be back here in a matter of years. So yeah, I really don't blame an investor saying just sell it all out. Screw this deal, give it to Tencent, because guess what? Tencent's gonna own it in the long run. Just give it to them now instead of trying to act like you can actually right this ship. You've put us in this own situation, but we'll read on. AJ Investments say that at the moment, shareholders have no clarity how the deal that was announced last week will eventually benefit shareholders of Ubisoft. It won't. It'll just see the stock in Ubisoft fall further and further down because they're gonna be holding control. You as a shareholder will see no benefit in the long run of this, and the only people that will actually be benefiting from this is Tencent. So yeah, selling it all off to Tencent is the smarter move, but we move down to resolution number 2. Resolution number 2 for the EGM will be to vote on a distribution of extraordinary dividend. It's said that the following, if shareholders vote for it, Ubisoft shall return 23 euros per share in cash to shareholders, totaling 3 billion euros. If all this goes through, all this is Ubisoft admitting failure. All this would see the shuttering of Ubisoft and the shareholders finally getting to walk away and actually get money in their pocket. Again, as of right now, the stock constantly keeps tanking. Week over week, day over day, the stock's going down farther and farther. All this deal has done has hurt Ubisoft, and it just benefits Tencent. So yeah, shareholders getting that payout would be the smarter move. This whole thing would be smarter for shareholders. Everything that you're seeing right now would be the better move. But ultimately, I don't know if it's even going to happen. I highly doubt that this is going to happen because let's be real fair here. The Guillemot family wants to maintain control. The same family, the same leadership, the same CEO that has been in control since the very beginning wants to keep control. They want to hold on to this till the bitter end. They want to go down with the ship. But at the same time, being a publicly traded company, you have obligations and duties to your shareholders. You actually have to try to make sure that your shareholders are happy. And all we're seeing is that shareholder after shareholder after shareholder is furious with the company. The company isn't performing. When it comes to Assassin's Creed Shadows, all we're seeing is 3 million players, but we're not seeing any real sales data. And we recently found out that they spent $2.1 million on influence peddling. This is what they care more about. This is what they keep doing. They keep spending money constantly and seeing no returns. I don't blame shareholders for being pissed off. Honestly, if I was a shareholder, I would be furious right now as well, considering just how bad the company is doing, how much money shareholders are losing right now, and that this inevitable Tencent deal only benefits Tencent and not Ubisoft. But hey, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. But I'm gonna leave it there, guys. Let me get you guys' thoughts on all this down in the comments below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it out, friends, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell for every time I put out a new video and go live, guys. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.